Sir, present.
Wala kasi nag-internet. No, disaster.
Good morning po.
Hello. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Good morning,
Morning, sir.
sir.
Good morning,
And
sir.
yes, I'm so sorry for the technical error. Hello, hello, hello.
Wala-wala po kayo, sir.
Say hi. Hi, class. Hi, class. Hi, sir. How are you?
Wata ka din mo si.
Yes. Meet my
So, kaya
baby.
mo siya.
Last time dan, si Kano rakam class. Okay,
Ano si
class?
Juan? Turuan mo kami paano gumawa niyan.
Ay, buto.
Galubulun,
Mara,
madali lang.
meet, meet my classmate. Open your cam. This is Amara. Iso sa ano, sir.
Hi, Amara.
Yes,
Bulat
Your
ka.
daddy. Your
sir.
sugar
Hi, sir.
daddy.
Meet my baby.
Naka-recorded ya.
Ay ba?
Recorded.
Nanago din.
Eh, half na
Hafsan,
lang malakas.
Hi.
Hafsan, ando ka mo.
Ha?
Ando ka.
Sawalay. Hi, Almira Sukor. Welcome back to our YouTube channel.
Hello, everyone.
Aduh,
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Okay, so let's start. Okay. So, by definition, we are here na sa definition. So, what we're discussing of course, matter here sa chemistry. So again, matter is something that has a volume that occupies space. No, so we'll be talking about the composition of our matter, the structure, the properties, the transformation from one form to another, and the energy that accompanies this transformation. So of course, since this is chemistry, we'll be discussing also chemical reactions, no, and how this transformation have undergone such a process. Why do we have to study chemistry? Okay. According to here, the answer is that the chemistry, by its very nature, is the central science, central to a fundamental understanding of other sciences and technologies. So that is our chemistry, and it is really true that chemistry is considered to be the central science, meaning to say, siya yung nasa gitna sa iba't ibang branches ng sciences or any field of sciences. Best reasons to study chemistry. Chemistry helps you to understand the world around you. Yes. Why does leaves change color in the fall? So although if we're going to look at that as that is very biological, but the chemical reaction happening to the changing color of your leaves during fall, it talks about chemistry. Why are the plants green? How is cheese made? What is in soap and how does it clean? These are all questions that can be answered by applying chemistry. Because again, we will be encountering here chemical reactions. No, chemistry can help you make informed decisions. Will a product work as advertised, or is it a scam? If you understand how chemistry works, you'll be able to separate reasonable expectations from pure fiction. Kasi nga, of course, we're dealing here with scientific concepts. Therefore, we will disregard now pure fiction and, of course, other misconceptions. By the way, if no if mawala po ako sa ating Google Meet, kindly message me sa Facebook or sa Messenger. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sige. Another, a basic understanding of chemistry helps you to read and understand product labels. Di ba yung iba, by the time na bibili sila, by the time na mag-grocery sila, what they did, especially for those people na um, very conscious on the ingredients, especially the Maranao people, no, you are very conscious with the food or the products that you are going to buy. No, that is why you really have to check the product labels. Now, if you don't have any knowledge on chemistry and any knowledge on those concepts, you cannot understand the product labels. Okay, so that is why you really have to understand those terms, no? Especially the ingredients. Kasi nga, di ba, meron ng iba't ibang parang tinatawag na fake news, no, na sinasabi that this particular food daw they have dili daw siya halal because na daw siya meron daw siyang mixture of pork, somewhat like that. But maraming fake news because alam naman natin na maraming kompetensya when it comes to products and food. That is why you really have to research on that, no? And by researching on the ingredients on the inside of the product, you are actually researching about chemistry. Chemistry is at the heart of cooking. If you understand the chemical reactions involved in making baked goods, goods rice, or neutralizing acidity or thickening sauces, chances are you'll be a better cook, and that is really true, no? Kasi nga by the time there will be yung mga chef, they're actually looking into the ingredients, no? Since we're talking about ingredients here, since they are cooking, therefore they are talking about chemistry. no? Kasi nga every time you put something, you add something to your food, it actually affects the taste or the smell of your food, correct? So that is why that is still an application of chemistry. Another, a command of chemistry can help keep you safe. You'll know which household chemicals are dangerous to keep together or mix and which can be used safely. Like, for example, uh, bumili ka ng muriatic acid, your muriatic acid, you don't have to place it sa kitchen ninyo. You have to place it sa comfort room ninyo because your muriatic acid is a strong acid, no? And actually, it could poison you. Okay, so mga ganyan. But if you don't have any knowledge on that, of course, you really don't know. No? Hindi nyo malalaman. Chemistry teaches useful skills because it is a science. Learning chemistry means learning how to be objective and how to reason and solve problems. Actually, yung chemistry during my high school years, sa lahat ng sciences, ito yung parang baba ko na grade. And I just realized during my college years that chemistry is a very nice subject. No, that is why yung pagka first year college ko, I really wanted to shift to be a chem, but the yung hindrance or yung factor why I did not do it, it is because another adjustment na naman sa friends, classmates, and so on. So hindi ako na-proceed to chemistry. Helps you to understand current events, including news about petroleum, product recalls, pollution, the environment, and technological advances. And then make life's little mysteries a little less mysterious because chemistry explains how things work, no? Because it talks about chemical reaction. No, what is the reason why if you're going to mix this material to another material, ito yung magiging resulta and so on. Okay? So it makes life's little mysterious a little less mysterious. Okay. Is my screen okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes po,
Okay.
sir.
Yes,
Sige,
Okay.
sir.
anyway. For those people who cannot actually see clearly my presentation, do not worry because again, this is a recorded discussion. We'll just have to edit the first part, no? Okay, chemistry opens up career options. Yes, there are many careers in chemistry, but even if you are looking for a job in another field, the analytical skills you gain in chemistry are helpful because really, if you are into chemistry, grabe talaga yung tinatawag na analytical skills, no? Especially if you have done technical laboratories, higher laboratories sa chemistry, really your analytical skills will actually be honed. And because of this pandemic, itong pandemya na ito, dito talaga nakikita yung importansya ng chemistry. Okay? Chemistry applies to the food industry, retail sales, transportation, art, homemaking, really in any type of work you can name. And then chemistry is fun, yes, because there are a lot of experiments, no? Yung sa mga science fun na mga experiments and techniques. So there are lots of interesting chemistry projects you can do using common everyday materials. So chemistry projects don't just go boom. They can glow in the dark, like for example your fireworks. Your fireworks actually is a product of chemistry, no? It uses different elements sa inyong periodic table. And mind you that in every element sa periodic table, meron siyang naka-designate na color. Like for example, sulfur is color yellow, somewhat like that. So they can glow in the dark, change colors, produces bubbles, and change states. So chemistry is really fun. So this is now your chemistry. Chemistry is essential science. It is at the heart of all sciences in astronomy, in nuclear chemistry, in health and medicine. Yes, because in health and medicine, you will be they will be talking about chemical reactions, know how this particular medicine react to something. Therefore, chemistry is very important. Physics also, no, your physics, the physics part, because physics will be talking about matter, and chemistry also it's talking about matter. So na sila relationship. So as with biology, no, environmental science, because especially if you're going to test what are the chemical the chemical composition of your soil and so on. That is environmental science, biochemistry, plant sciences, and of course, geology. So your chemistry really is considered to be the central science of all sciences. Okay. So we have here the different branches of chemistry. We have organic chemistry, study of most carbon-based compounds. This is actually one of my subject during my undergrad year and then my master's years. No, ang organic chemistry will be talking about carbon-based compounds. Like for example, basically the concept here would be more on carbohydrates, your proteins, your lipids, no, and then of course your um, nucleic acid. No? That will be part of the discussion on organic chemistry. And then we also have here inorganic chemistry deals with all substances which are not considered organic. All of the materials or compounds or chemicals that don't have possess any carbon-based compounds, no link, no carbon-based compounds, they will be termed as they will be part in organic chemistry. I think in organic chemistry, meron tayong idea nito during our high school years. This is the time that we will be calculating, no, balancing chemical equation, predicting chemical equations, something like that. So that is part of inorganic chemistry. Another is physical chemistry. Physical chemistry is also a field. If you are majoring in chemistry, this particular field or subject is somewhat difficult, no, because it requires it requires calculus because of the calculations physical chemistry. So it deals with the application of physical laws of chemical change and chemical systems. So dito, tinitingnan nila, bali, isosolve nila yung pag-change ng temperature from this particular reaction to this reaction. So it's very technical. Next, we have biochemistry. I love this field because, of course, the focus of this will be the four macro, what you call this, the macro part of our body, which is your carbohydrate, protein, lipids, and nucleic acids. So, yung apat na yan ang focus ng biochemistry. Next is analytical chemistry concerned mainly with the various techniques and laboratory methods to determine the composition of matter. Maraming laboratory ito, no? Analytical chemistry. Analytical chemistry is one of the subjects of BSN Sciences sa bagong curriculum ngayon, no? Other branches, of course, we have nanochemistry, combinatorial chemistry, astrochemistry, environmental chemistry, food chemistry, solid state chemistry, material, forensic, medicinal, natural products, nuclear, and of course, polymer. That is why if you are really majoring in chemistry, marami ka talagang ma-applyan, no? And then if you are to proceed to masters, especially in PhD sa chemistry, you have a lot of field to choose from. Ang dami nila. One of those na ito. So we will be jumping off to the term matter since your chemistry is the study of matter, no? So sabi ko nga, matter is anything that occupies space and of course has mass. Okay. So ito yung definition natin sa matter. Yung definition pa natin sa matter na nanggaling pa ito during our elementary years, no? Hindi yan nagbabago. Okay. So we have here our states of matter and then ilan yung states of matter na alam niyo by the way?
Three.
Tatlo, no? Sino ba makapagsabi sa akin? Okay.
Pero may lima
Solid,
na ngayon.
Solid.
So,
Lima na ata ngayon.
Norhanisa?
Liquid and gas po.
Norhanisa, can you enumerate the three states of matter na alam mo?
Solid, liquid, and gas.
Yes, and that is true. Sino yung nagsabing lima? Meron ng lima?
Ako po, sir.
Si Dima, ano to?
Dima Kaling.
Okay. Hana, yes, Hana there. Lima. So, meaning may nadagdag na dalawa. Ano yung dalawa, Hana?
Sir, yung isa po yung naaalala ko pero hindi ko maalala yung isa. Parang
Sige, ano yung isa?
Plasma po.
Okay. So the fourth one is plasma, no? And then we still have the fifth one, and that is actually true. Okay. So titingnan natin kung ano yung sila, but we will not really focus on the discussion on the addition of two states of matter. But yeah, that is true that During our elementary years, ang alam lang natin na tatlo lang yung states of matter, the solid, liquid, and gas. But as of the moment, we actually have now five. And really, according to some researches, we still have actually six, no? But ito pa yung lima yung nakikitang mas klaro. Okay. So we'll start with solid. Of course, we have solid, liquid, and gas. We have the fourth one is plasma. And the fifth one is what we call the Beck, no, or the Bose-Einstein condensate. The Bose-Einstein condensate or the Beck is actually named from Sir Bose and of course Sir Einstein. So sa kanila ngalan yung states of matter. Okay. Let's try to look at here, of course, your plasma. Ay, wala. Sige. Your solid, if we're going to look at solid has, ano ba, merong shape yung solid. At the same time, meron din siyang definite volume. Okay, kindly take note. Solid has a definite volume. At the same time, definite shape. So you have to take note kasi mag-quiz tayo. So that is our solid. That is why solid is very rigid, no? The materials, no, inside your solid, they are compact. Okay. Number two, liquid. When we say liquid, meron siyang spaces, no? Ang liquid natin, meron siyang definite volume, pero wala siyang definite shape. No? Again, yung liquid, meron siyang definite volume, but do not have definite shape. Bakit? It is because our liquid, whatever the shape of the container, your liquid will conform to the shape of the container. Kaya nga, pag nilagay natin sa circular na container yung liquid, your liquid will form circular also. If we will put liquid to a star po ang form niya. That is why your liquid don't have a definite shape. Number three, gas. Your gas here, neither wala siya definite volume, wala po definite shape ang imuhang gas. Wala siya definite volume because of the structure of your gas. If we're going to look at your gas here, gas is just free flowing, no? If you are to look at the spaces, no? Kung titignan niyo yung spaces ng gas natin, napakalayo. And then, no definite shape siya. It is because whatever the shape of the container, gas will also confirm. So if you're going to put a gas into a balloon, a circular balloon, for example, so ang shape po sa imong gas would probably circular. Okay. And the fourth one, by the way, questions for states of matter 1, 2, 3. Klaro ba yung solid, liquid, at saka gas natin?
Yes, sir.
Yes po.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So we'll proceed to plasma. Let's try to look at plasma. Now, plasma daw is a distinct phase of matter separate from additional solids, liquids, and gases. By the way, your plasma is actually a gas, no? Gas siya, pero ang tinatawag dito, if you're going to look at this one, a gas siya which is ionized, no? Pag sinasabi nating ionized, meaning to say, Abita, what do we mean by ion? Sinong may alam kung ano yung ibig sabihin ng ion? Oh, sana.
Charge particles, sir.
Okay, charged particles, meaning to say it is either positive or negative. No, that is what we mean by ion. No, since according to our description here, plasma daw is an ionized gas. Therefore, this plasma is a gas which is not a typical gas. No, hindi siya yung gas na typical natin na kasama sa three states of matter. No, itong gas na ito, meron siyang charges, meron siyang positive or negative. And please take note that plasma is considered to be the what you call this, the most abundant state of matter in the universe. Again, plasma is ionized gas. Therefore, this particular gas, plasma, which is actually a gas, meron siyang charges. It's either positive or negative. And at the same time, according to them, plasma is the most abundant state of matter in the universe. Okay, so 99% of all the substances in the universe is considered to exist as plasma. Okay. The fifth one is what we call the Beck or the Bose-Einstein condensate. This is also a gas, but not a typical gas also. This is not ionized gas, but this is a super fluid gas. No? A state of matter of a dilute gas of weakly interacting bosons. When we say bosons, these are the subatomic particles. Di ba alam lang natin na subatomic particles, ano lang, neutron, electron, at saka proton. But we still have a lot of subatomic particles. No? Confined in an external potential and cooled to temperature very near absolute zero, first predicted by Satyendra Nath Bose and Albert Einstein in 1924 to 25. Dugay na siya na na-discover and the prediction, but then again, ngayon lang nakitaan ng potential that really the idea of Bose and Einstein is really true. And we can actually place that sa listahan ng states of matter. So ano po yung Beck? Yung Beck pala, yung gas natin is actually subjected to a very cool temperature, very near absolute zero. Okay. Yung temperature na absolute zero. Sir, meron bang absolute zero? As of the moment, no, our scientists, they really wanted to, most of the scientists kasi they are atheists, no? So they don't believe in a creator, no? They don't believe in that. Therefore, they really wanted to explain everything. And one of those is this one. They really wanted to reach the absolute zero of a temperature, no? When we say absolute zero, hindi siya 0 degrees Celsius because meron pang mas mababa sa 0 degrees Celsius, di ba? We still have -1. Ang ibig sabihin ko ng absolute zero is 0 Kelvin. No? Yung zero na literal na zero talaga. But then again, as of the moment, our scientists cannot actually go through the absolute zero. Kaya ang nilagay dito, very near absolute zero. So imagine, meron talagang mangyayari if you are to subject or if you are to place gas in a very cool temperature and then yung temperature niya is very near absolute zero. So that is now a gaseous superfluid phase, no Beck. So that is our fifth states of matter. Let's just have to review everything. We have solid, liquid, gas, plasma, and Beck or Bose-Einstein condensate. Next, this picture is a diagram sa tinatawag natin na phase change, no? Yung solid to liquid, liquid to gas to solid, gas to plasma. So your solid to liquid, kindly take note, solid to liquid, that is melting. Melt. For example, ice, solid to liquid, it's melting. And then we also have liquid to gas. Pag sinasabing liquid nagiging gas, that is vaporization. And then gas nagiging solid, we call it deposition. And then solid nagiging gas, we call it sublimation. Like for example, yung solid to gas, yung asukal. Now, very good example na lang is albatross, no? Yung ginagamit natin sa ating mga comfort room, 'di ba? Yung as you notice, yung the albatross there is solid, and then right after some time nanipis siya, and then you could actually smell some fragrance. So that is actually an evidence that your solid is now changing to a gas, and that is what we call by sublimation. And then gas to plasma, that is what we call ionization. You just have to introduce charges to your gas so that this gas will become plasma. And then yung plasma, ibabalik natin siya sa gas, meaning to say the process is what we call deionization. Ang gagawin lang, tatanggalan natin ng charges yung plasma that will become na your typical gas. Okay? So again, those are your phase changes. And please mind you everyone, children, that although the physical appearances of this material are changing, but their properties are not changing. Like for example, yung solid, ang ice na to, Ice is made up of, yung ice natin is made up of
Water.
what? Water,
Tubig po.
yes, no? Tubig. Yes, very good. It's just that our water is solidified, no? So nag-freeze siya. So by the time mag-melt siya, although nag-change ang physical appearance coming from a solid physical appearance to a liquid physical appearance, but the components of that is still the same. 'Di ba? Ang nagbago lang is yung physical appearance. Is that correct?
Opo, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Okay,
sir.
very good. So again, sa tinatawag nating phase changes children, ang nangyayari lang is nag-change lang yung physical appearance but not the components of the material or substances. Okay, so I am actually emphasizing it because our next lesson is all about changes of matter. We have two types of changes of matter. We have physical change, and then we also have here chemical change. So let's try to look at physical change. Occurs when a substance changes its appearance without changing its composition. So ibig sabihin, nagbago lang yung physical appearance but not with the composition. So yung mga taong meron talagang attitude, kahit magpapaganda sila, pag may attitude, yun na talaga, no? The only difference there is the physical appearance, but yung budhi, maitim pa rin yung budhi. Okay. So, a very good example of your physical change is your phase change, yung sinabi ko kanina, no? Yung solid to liquid, liquid to gas to plasma, or gas to solid. Okay? So that is an example of your physical change. Number two, chemical change, also known as chemical reaction. Since I name here chemical reaction, therefore, it is really expected that right after a chemical reaction, there is a transformation of new substance. Ibig sabihin ng transformation of substance, nag-change yung physical appearance siguro, no? Nag-change yung physical appearance at the same time, nag-change din yung composition ng material. Okay? So very good example. Very good example is, of course, processes that involves production of heat and light. Dito ninyo malalaman, children, kung nag-undergo siya chemical change, if nag-involve siya heat and light. No? So pag meron tayong sinunog, automatically that is chemical change. Kung meron tayong pinailaw, no? Meron tayong pinailaw, for example, that is part of chemical change. Gaseous product is evolved, mean to say meron nag-bubbles. Okay? So if there is a presence of bubbles, therefore there is a presence of new substance. No? So like for example, yung gatas ninyo, yung gatas and then hindi ininom for a month and then you would notice na meron siyang bubbles, that is not your gatas anymore. No? A precipitate is formed, ibig sabihin merong mga residue na na-form, okay? And then mechanical or electrical energy is produced. That is chemical change. Okay, ito, tingnan natin dito mga example na ito. Okay. You have there heating, no? So pinainit yung tubig, that is an example of phase change. Your ice, name mo siyang liquid, that is an example of phase change. Now, how about this butter? What is this? Is this a physical or chemical change?
Physical, physical.
Yes, physical change yun, no? Yung butter natin. It is because
Kasi nagme-melt
yung
lang siya.
very good, nag-melt lang. Hindi naman siguro yung butter, pag melt ng butter, nagiging macaroni salad. No, wala naman siguro, no? Hindi power ang labas ani. Okay. Right after that, the next picture we have here our sliced boiled egg. Is this a physical or chemical change?
Chemical?
Uh, Sliced
Physical.
tayo. Yeah, ang sinabi ko is ang sliced boiled egg.
Physical.
Yes, the answer is physical, no? Yes, very good. The focus is not actually the boiling, but the focus of my sentence is sliced. So, siguro right after pag-slice, hindi naman siguro yan naging ham. Di ba? So, itlog pa rin yun. So, yes. So, that is sliced sliced boiled eggs. So that is physical appearance. So that's actually the point of the problem. Ito yung tricky part kasi ay ang concept ng physical at saka chemical change, napaka-easy lang. It's just that medyo magiging confusing siya by the time you will see words, no? You will see words. So like for example, itong sliced boiled egg. So you really have to understand first the scenario before you answer okay, para dili siya masayop. Okay, the last picture we have is this one. A broken glass wine.
Physical din, sir.
Physical. Oo. This is an example of physical. Siguro kay why physical children? It is because right after mabasag yung glass wine, wala man po siguro siya nahimong bato. Nahimo bang bato?
Wala, still a glass.
Oh, wala, no? So, pagbuak sa imuhang baso, the pieces of those are still glass. Okay? Another example para hindi siya para mas malinawan, you have here a whole sheet of bond paper. And then ang ginawa mo sa bond paper, ginunting mo, no? Ginunting mo siya into smaller pieces. So ano 'yon? Is that a physical or chemical change?
Physical pa rin.
Physical pa rin. Why physical? It is because right after mo ginunting, if you are going to look at now the smaller pieces, it is still the bond paper. It's just that the physical appearance of the bond paper changes. Hindi na siya naging long bond paper, kundi smaller pieces of long bond paper. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very
Yes,
good.
sir.
Okay, sige. Next, these pictures, let's try to look at if these are physical or chemical change. This one, how about this one? Ito, nasunog ka kahoy.
Chemical po.
Chemical.
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 So perfect naman sa quiz. Perfect naman sa quiz, ani. Oh, bantay ha. Sige. So the first picture is a very good example of a chemical change no? Sa atong yung sinabi ko na by the time mag-involve tayo ng heat, automatically that is chemical change. Okay. Next picture, itong mangga. Ang mangga.
Chemical.
Yes, very good. The answer for manga is of this manga is actually an example. Hello? Okay. An example of chemical change, no? Sir, ano pong bakit po naging chemical change siya? If the scenario will talk about the ripening of a mango, ripening. Okay. Means ang paghinog sa mangga. Ang paghinog ngayon ng mangga is an example of a chemical process, no? Okay. Remember by the way, meron tayong particular gas. We have this gas, we call it ethylene. Okay. I will try to chat ko yan dito sa ating chat box so that you will know, no? So this ethylene, can you see it?
Yes,
Ethylene.
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Yung ethylene na sinasabi ko, ethylene is one of the hormones, no plant hormones 'yan. And then yung ethylene lang yung tinatawag natin na a gaseous form, no? Of all the plant hormones, ethylene is only in gaseous form. And siya yung rason bakit yung mga prutas natin ay nahinog, no? Do you have any ano ba, kung sino man yung mga merong nagbebenta ng prutas or kung sino yung merong manggahan na ay kuan diri kanang na ay sagingan. And then you will notice siguro that your grandparents, yung lola o lolo or even your parents, you would notice na katong mga saging, ilang gibutang sa isa ka sako. No, nilagay nila sa sako. And then sa Bisaya ana kay sige tawag nito sa Bisaya ana. Kisa may Bisaya dili gali. Si Bisaya na sa gibuot, no? Sa Bisaya pag gitawag naman na siya nga gibuot, meaning to say we contain the banana in a very tight and closed container para yung gases sa ating banana it will excrete and that's the reason na mahinog yung lahat. Okay. That is the reason why kung naamoy mga baligya ang mga prutasan or naamoy baligya din ang mga lamas, especially itong kamatis, ito talaga yung kamatis ang sobrang dali malata, no? By the time malata ang kamatis, you would notice na ilabay yun ang kamatis right away. It is because that particular lata na kamatis, it could affect the beautiful kamatis, no? The reason why nalata siya, it is because meron na siyang excess amount of ethylene. Okay? Again, your ethylene now is the reason why nag-ripe yung mga prutas natin. And that is why this particular picture is an example of a chemical change. Is that clear?
Yes po,
Yes,
yes.
sir.
Yes po,
Okay,
sir.
very good children. We also have here a picture of an iron, no? And then, if you are to notice, ano kaya nangyari sa metals na ito?
Lasting, sir.
Rusting. Okay. So the term rusting now, what is that? Is that a chemical change or a physical change?
Chemical change
Chemical
po.
change.
Chemical.
Chemical
A
change.
chemical change. Very good. Sir, bakit po naging chemical change? Sir, na right after nag-rust, metal pa rin yan. And that is true. But the focus of my sentence is rusting, no? Yung rust kasi if you are to research rust, ang rust natin is a combination of iron and oxygen. Okay, so if your rust will be is formed based on the combination of oxygen and then iron, therefore yung iron nag-undergo siya og chemical reaction together with oxygen and it makes now your rust. Therefore, rusting is an example of a chemical change. Very clear?
Yes.
Yes po.
Yes po, sir.
Okay, sige.
Yes,
Next, the
sir.
last picture that we have, itong naka na molds, no? Na molds na bread. Feel na ko gardenia ni siya. No, gardenia parehas ni sa mga bread diri. We have a lot of gardenia, no? So, dahil dato kayo. Okay. So, for example, this is a bread and then nag-mold siya kanang molding part. What is that? Is that a physical or chemical change?
Chemical
Chemical
po.
pa rin po, sir.
Chemical.
Very
Chemical,
good.
sir.
Chemical pa rin siya, no? That is why hindi na talaga pwedeng kainin yan. It is because it undergoes certain chemical activities. So it could poison you or it could give you severe diarrhea. So you really don't want to eat that one. Okay? So I believe you understood really the concept of physical and chemical change, no? So meron tayong gawing medyo ganito. May pa-self-check tayo. Basig ang uban diri manggawas na dayon ha kay gipang tawag basig ang moingon diri sir dili maklaro sir magtalag ni mga balbal ron. So we will be having our self check. Can you see my screen?
Yes,
Don't
sir.
worry. Yeah, this is not a quiz ha. This is just a parang a sort of a game. Game? Okay. So basig na yung magpabungol-bungol diri ron pagtawagon. Okay. So okay, I think I have here five. Let's have first five people. Can I call city? We have here number one is city. I'm sorry. Sorry. Number one is Aisa Abdulatif. Number two is Eliza Batalo. Three, Almira Sokor. Four, Asma Batuaan. Five, Ilham Datumanong. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Kasi na yung mag-exit ron ha, bantay yung mga balbalan eh. Wala yung mag-exit. Okay. How about Aisa? Are you there? Oh, di nakatingog si Aisa. Aisa Abdulatif.
Yes, sir. Nandito po ako, sir.
Okay, si Aisa is there. Eliza Batalo.
Sir, hello po, sir.
Okay. Sukor, Almira.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. And then Asma. Nasi Asma, no? Asma? Asma? Hello, Asma. Oh, mo na niya akong gingon. Asma, but Okay. Siguro, Asma, you can write your answer siguro sa chat if that is possible. Maka-chat ka, Asma. Dili sa tuang kuan. Ah, okay. Sige. Very good, Asma. So you just have to type in your answer, Asma, ha? And then I think the last one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, naa si Datumano. Ilham, naama ka, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's start with number one. Okay, number one. Your answer, you may answer either physical or chemical. Number one, formation of clouds. Abdulatif, formation of clouds.
Ako na lang.
Aiza, nawala. No? Karon, nawala si Abdulatif. Let's move on to Batalo. Naog ta kay Batalo, Eliza. Eliza?
Yes, sir.
Yes, what is number one?
Sir,
Formation of clouds.
physical change po, sir.
Very good, Eliza. That is physical change. Sige, pa-mute. Okay, very good. Why physical change? It is because, remember, your formation of clouds is actually part of what we call water cycle. Tama? So, since water cycle lang yan, pa ulit-ulit, therefore, that is an example of physical change. So that is correct. Thank you, Batalo. Number two, iron rusting. Sukor. Almira.
Chemical change po, sir.
Very good. Chemical change.
Chemistry
Na.
po.
Yes, chemical change. Very good. Next, number three, diluting a solution. Asma, batwaan. Asma, batwaan. Diluting a solution. Asma, pwede na i-type siguro. Type mo lang. Kung pwedeng ma-type ni Asma yung sagot. Chemical change. Dilution of a solution, meaning to say, ang ibig sabihin ng diluting a solution, for example, meron kang na 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 ano ba? Meron kang nailagay na maraming asukal sa baso, no? And then you taste it na sobrang tamis. What you did is nilagyan mo pa siya ng tubig. Okay? So that is gidilute mo siya ang solution. Dilution is just mixing and therefore it doesn't need any chemical reaction. Therefore, diluting a solution is an example of physical change. Okay? Number five, we have melting of sugar. Dato Manong.
Chemical change.
Melting of sugar, the answer is physical change because of the word melting. So ang nangyari lang, nag-melt ng yung sugar. Right after pag-melt sa sugar, hindi siya naging acid, but it is still a sugar. Yung sugar ninyo, di ba, if meron kang sugar, after some time, para maging mamasa-masa yung sugar ninyo, no? Mura siyang mag-liquefy. If you are to taste the water, the watery part there, tamis gyapon to siya because that is still a sugar. Okay? Therefore, number four is an example of physical change. Number five, burning of plastic. Hafsa. Hafsa,
Yes, sir.
burn.
Chemical change po.
Very good. This is an example of a chemical change because of the word burning. Okay, let's run through. Number six, wood burning. Hana, dimakaling.
Um, Chemical change po.
Very good. Chemical change because of the word burning. Number seven, ripening of papaya. Ripening of papaya. Hanifa, Norodin.
Chemical change po, sir.
Very good. This is an example of a chemical change. Jehan. Saan ba yun si Jehan? Jehan Abdul Jabbar.
Yes, sir.
Boiling of eggs.
Physical change po.
There, boiling of eggs. Boiling of eggs is an example of a chemical change. It is because yung by the time yung egg natin, 'di ba? If you're going to notice, literally your egg is ano ba 'yan? 'Di ba? Liquid form siya, no? By the time na if you're going to boil that, it will harden. That would kill and react now the reaction, no? So that is an example of a physical change. Boiling of eggs. Okay. Next we have is Jehan, Jehan Amin Tao. Number 9, copper turning to brass. Ang copper naging brass. Jehan Amin Tao, are you there?
Sir,
Copper turning to brass.
chemical,
Yes, the answer is chemical
chemical
change.
po?
No?
Ay,
Yes, chemical.
yes, sir.
Yes, the answer is chemical change. Your copper is now a
Physical,
brass.
physical po, sir.
Chemical ang answer,
Chemical change.
chemical change. Chemical. Okay, that's it. I think that's it, no? We
Okay.
only have we only have 9 items. Congratulations, everyone. Congratulations. So, kung meron tayong virtual clap dito, wala tayong pa-virtual clap, no? So anyway, thank you so much for participating. So let's continue. No, it's 11:26. So it's 11:26, everyone, and we will continue the discussion on the properties of matter and some other concepts on chemistry next meeting. Okay,
Yes,
but
sir.
okay, but
Po,
before
sir.
we will be, having our next lesson or continue na lesson next meeting, we will be having a very short quiz next meeting. Okay, siguro mga 10 items lang ang quiz nato next meeting.
Okay po,
Yes,
Okay
sir.
po, sir. Thank
Okay.
you.
So, by the way, I will upload the materials na, lahat na ng materials ng chemistry at saka biology, i-upload ko na siya para naman kung meron kayong time, you can run through everything so that by the time we will discuss it, mas madali na lang, no? Okay ba yan?
Okay po.
Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
Okay,
Thank you,
I
sir.
would like to say thank you so much for giving me your time, although it's holiday, but you did give me your time. Thank you so much, children, and we
No
will
problem.
see. Yes, we will see each other next meeting. Goodbye, everyone. You can now exit the room.
Bye, sir.
Bye, sir.
Bye,
Bye,
sir.
Bye, sir.
children. Bye.
Ano ba? Bye, sir. Bye, class.
Yes, bye, Hafsa.
Bye, sir. Thank you.
Bye, class. Sir,
Saman.
open na, sir.
Na-miss ka ata,